That's just me. This is the Okayest Hunter podcast. Never pass on shooter bucks, 'cause that's just meat in the freezer. It's your tag, you hunt how you want. This is Okayest Hunter.
We're touching the bottom of your glass.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, don't touch the top.
I played the wrong music. I switched my buttons around and I hit the wrong button. So we're going to roll with this intro music today.
It's great. It's lovely.
Oh,
Oh.
I got to mute the TV. You know, if it's not something, it's something.
Scoff.
Okay, so just everybody tuning in, just bear with me here.
We're
because
still living up to the okayest name.
This is
Don't worry. We're not getting better.
This is a brand new setup, okay? And it's taken half a minute to figure out how the heck to.
Don't worry.
do
We
this.
will shit the bed eventually.
So, hi guys, I'm Eric. I'm the host of this shit show.
Oh, hi.
I'll
Hi, nice to
introduce-
meet you, Mr. Shit Show.
We got Greg and Derek over here. I'll do Derek. It's on
Hi.
you. Look
I'm
at that.
Derek.
There we go. Greg, it's on you. What's up?
Hi, I'm Tammy.
The cameras may be better, but we're not.
We're not. Not at all. You still get the ugly side of my face.
I like how the music just stopped right when you said that.
And that
Awkward
was awkward
silence.
silence.
So, welcome to the OK Center podcast. If you're tuning in for the first time, you just witnessed what we call the shit show. This is a real thing here, and we just upgraded our mixer. We're running 4 new cameras in this room now. We switched that, and we have this new little toy here.
I thought you had a little more spring in your step, like you weighed a little bit less from all the pennies you've been hoarding away in your pocket.
I don't know, man. This has been I've been down here a lot, figuring all this. I mean, there's cords everywhere.
He's got toys all over
I
too.
know,
He's
at
got some
least
toys
he's got
back here.
bows.
Got a new bow. I haven't shot it yet at all. You saw last week.
I know I had to pull it back to make sure it pulled back because you were.
Yeah,
You were a
and I
little afraid
eventually
of
did.
it.
I was like, I was worried I was going to break something, but I didn't.
No.
Break anything.
Well, that's good.
You should have taken your wife's purse out and thrown it at it. That'd have got it done.
Yeah, I suppose. But we are brought to you by Half Rack. Head on over to half-rack.com. Use code OHB. They'll save you 15% off. I talked about their bucket swivel top last week. Probably get one of their snack bags. Bring that out with me for turkey. I'm gonna go turkey at some point. But when
You
are
know
you
what we're
guys
gonna
turkey
do?
hunting?
We're gonna put the full strutter decoy on his head and let him spin around on that bucket.
There we go.
And then we'll just put GoPros,
GoPros
on his
everywhere.
front, on his back. So
We
we'll-
are. I mean,
All right, I'd watch that.
that'd be pretty entertaining.
I'll reap a turkey like that. Would that be considered reaping?
You might be reaping your own shorts, and that's about it.
They might be reaping you. We got to put this thing out of its
Yeah.
misery.
It's got mad turkey disease.
What zones do you guys have for turkey?
This zone,
This is B, right?
I
This
don't
is
know.
zone-
I don't know all the zones.
Oh, yeah.
zone
Two.
2.
Period.
Period.
A.
Yeah, we do
I
it
got A.
ass backwards here. It's zones 1 through what 6, 7, something like that, and then it's periods A through E. I got period C.
It's a good time.
Middle of the way. We had a couple people calling at him already, giving them the old what for and the
When is it-
education.
They'll
When-
test you. You know,
Yeah, it's fine.
it's a good
It's
test.
fine.
When does it open?
See, my
I think I got it here.
it
on the
opens in
calendar.
April.
I think it's April 7th. Does that sound right?
It's like middle of April. Because
19th
yeah,
of April is a Wednesday.
middle of
That's
April.
opening of the first season.
Yep.
It runs a Wednesday through a Tuesday.
Yep. And then the following Wednesday is period B, and then after that is period C, where I start.
Cool. When do
And-
I start?
You had better start thinking about watching the old DNR website.
You got to get in the waiting line, my friend.
Yep.
Okay. I'll do whatever it takes.
And
But
if,
I won't do
and
it
if we're being-
the right way out of the gate, though.
and if we're being asked to hunt with another crew,
Uh-huh.
we probably need to take that into account and be ready to purchase tags for that. So we might have to have a conversation with Mr. Dutton about that to make sure we're.
What season did he mention? Is it E?
Might have been one of the later seasons.
Every time I've ever bought an extra tag, it's always that's the only one
Yeah.
I've ever been able to get. is
D.
fifth
I got
season.
D 1 year. I got D and E 1 year.
Nice.
Yeah. In
Sounds
fact,
like-
I shot my
feel like we're
birds
just
back
doing
to
a really
back.
bad job at the alphabet right now. Period F. I got D and E.
I
Where's
drew-
AB?
I
This
got
is like
3
algebra
tags
class
1
in
year.
high school.
Jeez.
I got 3 tags 1 year and knocked down 2 birds out of 3.
Not too shabby.
No, it's pretty lucky.
Hmm.
I screwed up the first period like royally. Like fell in the ditch, dropped my shotgun in the ditch, picked it up. The turkey was out there by about 50 yards, gobbling his head off and wouldn't come any closer. And I'm dumping mud water out of my barrel.
It's not the ideal setup, huh?
It's okay.
So that's half rack.
Anyway,
First of all, I'm running on like very little sleep, lots of energy drinks, and just trying to feel my way around this new stuff. So I'm just going to be a little distracted today on the show. I was
as
talking.
we are, because we didn't let you finish with the sponsorships.
Okay, we can Spartan Forge. I was talking about them today because people don't realize, like Bill Thompson, the founder, who works like 80 hours a week, is a damn near genius. He won't tell you that because he's too damn humble, but he was a Army intelligence officer and he hunted terrorists. And I think that as a lead into, then he collected deer tracking collar data from colleges around the US and Canada to build a neural network data AI system over the course of 8 years before it launched. Like, I don't know how, and then you look at just how it functions. Again, we just talk about this and there's no way you can't think about using it for free. And if you want to upgrade, use code OHP. That's it. That's all I got to say about that. But you did a video on YouTube and you used it.
Oh yeah,
I accidentally uploaded it with your coordinates.
of course. Texting Eric, I'm like, hey, here's the video I took. Please just don't include the coordinates
Oh,
or
did you
give
say
away
don't-
spots.
Oh, it said specifically, and
said
I even
that.
chimed in.
And
Too late. I already hit the play button because I'm giddy as a schoolgirl. I got this little.
hey, we
thing.
got it
I
sorted.
like to play
I
with
think I
this
was
little
doing that at
thing.
midnight and I was like, do. All right, it's all done. Here we go. And then all of a sudden, whoa! I was like, well, luckily only like 4 people had seen it by that point. So I delisted it and deleted it and re-uploaded a new version with it.
Much
covered up.
appreciated. You know, the Okanus Hunter doesn't need things being made any harder.
Yeah. Derek's like,
That's
that's it.
right.
I'm out. I'm never coming back. Almost sabotaged that one.
No, I've said it before and I'll say it again though. Anybody who has seen any of the scouting videos, hoping to do some more, if you recognize the area, I'm sure there's going to be some people who definitely do. Feel free to reach out. Like, I'm not hiding anything and I'm not bashful. Like, reach out. Let's work together if you hunt that area.
That's honestly the way to do it. Like
Yeah.
I had a hunting buddy this past year, and it was great to know. Like, hey, he's going to be over here. Good. I'm not going over there. Hey, where you at? You know, I'll see his truck, or he'll
Was
see my
I
truck.
Your hunting buddy?
You're always my hunting buddy.
Okay, I'm just checking to see who we're
Hey,
talking about.
stick buddy. This guy over here.
We met some hunting buddies at another spot this
Yeah.
year. Some people. Oh, it was good times. But yeah, seriously, reach out.
It's nice to be able to coordinate so that way you're not budging somebody else out of that spot, or they're not screwing you up.
Heck yeah.
I would just go through the others quickly. Go Wild. That's where you want to post stuff. I feel bad that we're like stretching this out here.
The 30-minute sponsorship intro.
Wow. You're doing
Tyler,
well.
who's the co-founder of OKS Hunter, like he's kind of behind the scenes. He emerges here and there, but he's also a face on our social. He just put an article out on Go Wild about how to deal with your dog's anxiety for traveling with your gun dog. So that was kind of a nice article. So you can see that. That went live today. Our good friend Steph Lane had just put an article out there about how to coon hunt. So from traveling with dogs to coon hunting to squirrel hunting to chipmunk hunting, probably beaver hunting. I bet or
Ooh.
trapping is probably a thing on there. Deer hunting, all of it, all of the hunting and trapping exists on Go Wild, and you can have conversations about it. Someone actually messaged me the other day, like, I would love to learn how to trap. I'm like, well, we did an episode about that, but you can probably learn more from Go Wild than our podcast episode.
Yeah, trapping's an awesome thing, but boy, you better be ready to put in a lot of work and spend a lot of time, because it's literally a labor of love. You don't get paid what you used to make for some of those pelts.
I think you said before, it's a really good way to learn
It is
the woods and how the
animals use it.
Yeah, which I think is it sounds cool. Latitude Outdoors. We're going to be getting their speed sticks, their Carbon Speed Series, once they're ready. So I'm excited to test those. We're going to get some new platforms also from those guys. So
Heck yeah.
we'll be able to really
Unimus.
maximize our mobility as mobile hunters.
Maximally mobile.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good stuff. Kodo HP over there too. And Method Archery. I got a new Bear bow. I'll put the camera on you, Derek or Greg, if one of you guys want to try to knock everything over. It's okay if you do because it's kind of wonky, but Yeah, that's the new Bear Legend XR that I'll be shooting. So Isaac with Method was like, "Well, come on down here. They have a press. I have to get obviously new arrows. So we're gonna get it tuned up down there with those guys, and I'm excited to shoot it. I haven't shot it yet. According to Greg, and he's right. I couldn't even pull back for a second. I thought something was like stopping it, so I just hit the brakes. I'm like,
It's
"Look,
just
I'm not gonna
maxed
break
out.
it."
It's fine.
But I wouldn't want it at 70 then for hunting because I need to be a little more fluid than what
Well, what
that's all
you
about.
should do is get it down to like 65, see how it feels, and work your way into it. If you feel you can get more out of it,
Yeah.
Once you get your shoulder back into shape, then I would say bump it up to 70 and see what it does.
Yeah, I'm not trying to.
But for shooting
my
in kind of weird positions or shooting in cold weather, it is nice to have a little bit lower draw.
The Fred Bear way,
Hey, look at
right
that.
there
That's
inlaid.
pretty cool.
Got that sweet graphite color too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
She's a killer. I can tell. She's a
Well,
killer.
I hope so. Actually, Jace, our videographer, has dibs on my existing Bear Empire.
Really?
Yeah, I was
That's
like,
cool.
well, it's obviously killed deer, so it works. Good luck with that, Derek. It's gonna fall any later, probably. Oh, look at that.
Don't breathe. Don't
Okay,
fart.
I'm not looking
Yeah,
at
No
it.
fart.
Okay,
I'm
no
also saying
farting.
the
Here
same
we go.
thing about
Here
all
we
the,
go.
all the
Farting.
cables running through. I got cables running on top, and we got this GoPro plugged in. We could lay high.
Who
GoPro.
is your electrician?
There we go. It's a fun view. I don't know. I was curious
Wow.
to see how that would work. Anywho, I think that covers everybody. I don't have a topic today, guys. I have the phone lines are open. I should put that on the screen. I don't know how many people are tuned in right now. Looks like a handful. So I'll put that on the screen. So if someone does want to call in, you can. Other than that, we're gearing up for trade show. So Greg, you've been putting a shit ton of effort into building a booth and scorching it with like turning
Looks
your garage into a
amazing. If
sauna.
you haven't seen the stories on Instagram,
Make sure
check
you
them
wear a white shirt and rub all against it.
Oh yeah, you'll get all charred up, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you do that?
No.
No.
No, but I managed to, wipe across it a few times. And look at that. I got a little. The key is to not burn it too much to get a ton of soot on it.
Okay.
Once it starts to turn charcoal, that's too far. So there's a fine line, and you feel it out as you work through it. It's like
Really touch and
painting.
go.
That we were talking about that before.
Yeah, just like painting.
I can see where you get that ASMR feel to it of like very satisfying. Like
Look at that. There it is.
bring that little black char out of the wood grain.
Well,
Follow the grain.
they make like one with a bigger flame. Would that one work? Would you go faster with that? Because when you have like a fine tip flame,
Yeah.
almost.
I don't know. I've
You know what
never.
I'm talking about?
Yeah,
The one that-
Yeah, you're looking at one for like doing roofing, a big blowtorch, and
yeah,
that's
I guess so. I don't know.
that's a little
That's
probably
a
a little
that's a
too
big
much.
messy brush.
just
huh?
slowly drag your Mr. Buddy heater across it.
Right.
I don't think that's gonna do it.
Ah,
Oh.
maybe.
So we'll be at Iowa next weekend. You're gonna come down.
Yeah, I'm excited to go to the Iowa Deer Classic. It's
So
gonna
we're
be
gonna
good.
leave it like the ass crack of dawn on Friday morning, and we got a U-Haul trailer at some point between now and then. I got to pick up the booth from Greg's house, and
You're gonna want to do some fitting to that. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna throw that out there right now because otherwise there's just parts and pieces, and we need to actually get those corner parts, like not the table and not the one that you brought over, but the two that they connect to.
Mhm.
That we should have at least to make sure I have all the bolt holes. We'll pre-drill bolt holes that I would bolt to because if there's a little shift in the floor, having bolt holes that are oblong, you'll be able to fit that better.
Yeah.
If they're exact,
It's
they're
gonna
exact
pull
to my
on.
floor, and then all of a sudden you'll get it on a perfectly level floor, and this doesn't look right at all, or it's kind of janky looking.
Hey, with our name, I think we're allowed some grace
Yeah.
on jankiness.
What are those? That's about 35 shims under that side right there. That's what that
It's a
is.
stack of 2x4s
There we
and some
go.
nails.
How do we
Yeah.
do that? Yeah.
There we go.
No, so there's the Iowa one's coming up first weekend of March, and then we're going to be at the Dells again at the end of March. So we're bringing hoodies and grunt tubes. Matt Strime was just in the chat. Matt with Weathered Oaks Game Calls and your OKS Fisher podcast co-host.
Matt's part of the OKS crew, whether he likes it or not.
Yeah, he likes it. He likes it. No, he tooled all those up and spun them by hand. No two are the same, and they look really cool. And those are getting dropped off this weekend, so I got to put some inserts in those. And I think we're gonna. Some folks have like expressed a pretty strong desire to get those things, and one particular gal is like, "I'll drive down. I'm thinking I'm gonna drive down from Minnesota to get one," because I was like, "Well, if we we're selling them at the trade show.
Yeah, not online.
If we don't have any left after trade show, then we don't have any left for like a year. So if we do, we'll put them on the website, but we're not going to sell them ahead of the trade show. So this gal's like concerned that we're not going to have any left. And she's like, I think I'm going to drive down. I'm like, you should do it. You should drive down to Iowa from Minnesota. And
Having held them before, they're really nice. Matt did a great job with them.
Mhm.
Is Matt going to be at the open season show?
he's going to be at the open season one, not the Iowa one.
Which is good because
But he
you
might
won't.
be. I don't
No.
know. Now I'm like, he actually called me in a panic the other day, yesterday, because I said the 24th or the 26th. He thought I meant the 24th of this week,
Oh, yeah.
February. And I was like, whoa, what? And then I got in a panic. I was like, is it this weekend? so we're all just running around like chickens with our heads cut off, basically, and trying to figure all this stuff out. But yeah, trying to get ready. And the show has been out now. I know we're just kind of chewing the fat on everything we got going on. I think it's kind of fine for the moment. We have 2 episodes deep, and so far the response has been pretty favorable from the handful of messages we've gotten from 2 of the episodes. Is like, I feel like I'm right there with you guys. That's me out there. I've done that, and that kind of sentiment is kind of what we've been getting. So I think if you haven't checked it out, head on over to our YouTube and let us know what you think.
It's good for a look.
Greg's just embarrassed about it.
It's good
He's
I'm
for
like-
not.
Greg's like, I
whatever.
don't know.
I didn't shoot a deer on camera. You guys won't even see me kill a deer on that, so it's
Well,
fine.
What's going to be a little bit tricky about it is when Jace is out filming with him, and Jace went out with you once, right?
Yeah, you went out with
Yeah.
me.
It's like
I
Jace
really
gets
want to see that.
Jace
episode.
gets the good stuff. Like having the
even
camera
realize.
guy there to film you doing it is like,
Yeah.
like I never hunted with Jace, so like all I got is me doing what I think is important, which is not any of the funny stuff. Like when he zooms in on your ripped shirt, and you're like ripping
Yeah,
out
I
your
looked at that.
stuff.
I'm like, dude, you just got that shirt not that long ago.
When your platform's balancing on that branch and it like slowly falls.
It's,
Like, I
like,
was losing my
teetering.
gourd, man. That was hilarious.
I was like,
Yeah,
this
this
is a
is-
small tree. This is easy. I can get, like, I've hunted this tree before. I killed that deer out of that tree. I was like, I'm only gonna be 1 stick high. This is no big deal. It turned into like the most dramatic situation. I was like, why is this so difficult? I'm struggling to get myself into one damn tree. So yeah, that was embarrassing.
Well, no offense, but
I
when
forgot
I
about
took
that.
you out to that spot that one day and you were like, man, that tree was just a nightmare. I was like, what was a big deal? And then I saw the video of you climbing that one tree one stick. I was like, okay, I can see where that'd be a big deal there.
Every stick's like a new nightmare for me, basically.
Oh.
Oh, another stick. Here we go. I'm like using my mouth in weird ways, not sexually.
Well, I mean, the strap might have thought it was. You never know.
You gotta strap it on. You gotta
Define weird.
You just went there.
gnawing on stuff. I got a branch in my mouth. I ripped my first light. I've just got it. I was like, oh, I got first light now. Look at this. It's so fancy. Greg's like, you got to get this one. This is the one. It's good for early season. It's good for mid season. I get it. It
Right
ain't
away.
cheap.
It's my fault.
No, it's not your fault. But I ripped it and I didn't even know it. So Jace zoomed in on that. I still didn't. I wasn't aware of it until I
You
watched
need
it. I
just
think.
a little bit of extra armpit ventilation in that one. That's all.
It was hot out.
Yeah,
Holly,
it was.
Holly's like, did you know that was ripped? I was like, no, now I know. I didn't know until I watched this video. So that was comical. The whole thing is just,
Yeah, it was good.
it's pretty real.
It's very real.
I'm not making this shit up. And then I'm on the phone with Greg, of course, on the
Yeah,
way there. I'm
you
like, well,
might-
hopefully there's nobody there. And then the next scene is, there's a
There's
truck
a-
there.
There's a truck there. Well,
I know we've mentioned the playoff of the Office feel, and it definitely feels like that.
Yeah. The
Definitely
interviews
does.
at the end are good. You always got some funny stuff to say. Like the whole thing is just, I haven't seen Greg's. I'm excited to see Greg's. Because
You're not gonna see a whole
Jace
lot.
told me some things
I'm sure.
about yours. So, like, I think you guys kicked up a deer or something. Even
We saw deer. We saw deer. We saw turkeys. The turkeys sounded like deer. Yeah.
Do you have anything you need to confess about your hunt that you think?
No.
No, I don't.
He's
I'm
got a
kidding.
cheesy
No,
smile
I
on
don't
his
know.
face,
He
like
does.
he's
I don't
holding
care.
something in his
I'm just
back.
pressing him,
That's fine. Whatever. I don't care.
Mister. I
You
can't.
see me at my finest.
Who is it? Oh yeah, Isaac was commenting on Greg for like not knowing the direction. He's like, "You've been coming to that house for how many years in that basement?" That was a good one. I think the fact that we're like a married couple is what really gets me revved up. I think it's pretty damn funny. And then Derek's face, and all of it's like, "What the heck, guys? When I saw it zoomed on her face as we're bickering, I about lost my shit. Because you're like, you guys really gonna bicker about this? This is so stupid.
Yeah, we will because we're guys and that's what we do.
Anywho,
I was thinking about getting you guys a compass for Christmas.
that's a good idea. I don't know if I could use it properly, but it'd be great to have just in case.
Yeah.
I remember going to the Northwoods with my dad, and I did have a compass, and it was always just like, hey, just at least remember, like, the truck is north. If you're gonna go this way, you just got to come back north. You'll eventually figure it out. Or like it was pick some basic rudimentary understanding of the stuff, and that's at least one component of not getting lost in the woods.
Sometimes
you can get turned around easily up. Do you ever get turned around up there?
I've gotten turned around like probably twice where I like really got discombobulated and didn't know which way I went, but I didn't have to like spend a night in the woods or anything. Like I've sorted it out.
But you get that sinking in your stomach for a second, like, oh shit, I'm actually
Got that
lost.
twice. Yep. And it was not a good feeling, but none of the areas that we were in are like if you walked 2 to 3 miles in any direction, well, not any, but in most directions, you would hit something, some sort of logging
And you'd be
trail
like,
or
wow,
whatever.
how'd I get over here?
Yeah.
How about you, Greg? When you were up there with him, did you get turned around at all?
No, I managed to figure my way because even like when we went in to that one spot hunting, it was in the dark. It's like, okay, well, found my way. You gave me pretty good instructions and, follow the maze of of tacks and get in there, and got in there and found the exact tree, and got all the way up there, and everything was fine, and got down. It's like light came. And it's like, okay, this is what it looks like in the daylight. It looks completely different in the
isn't
dark.
that crazy?
Yeah,
Yeah. Your
but-
perception is totally expanded in such even like a small parcel. You're
Yeah.
like, where I missed the 6-pointer where Jace, I walked in the dark and I got turned around on the tiniest little plot of land off of a bike path. And I'm like, I apologize to him. I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry we're getting turned around, but like, I'm not really entirely, I have a good idea where we are, but I don't know specifically where we are right now. We're not where I want to be.
Well, and it's tough with the North Woods. There's a lot of cover. You walk into a cattail marsh or a swamp, there's a lot of cover. I mean, I've had it several times when I used to duck hunt with the dog. I remember one morning, first one's in the parking lot, all excited, it's public land, and heading towards where the little spots are that I want to duck hunt. There are these little back sloughs where nobody goes in the cattail marsh. All the guys go to the big water. I wanted to go to the little spots, out of the way spots that I could just go there with me and my dog and let my dog do his thing and not have to worry about idiots shooting at him. So great idea. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to do this at 4:00 in the morning. The dog knows his way. Little did I know the dog knew exactly where we were going because we had been in there in the daylight and scouted it out and checked it out. Well, I took a different way in than the first time, and I'm going in the dark, waders on, backpack full of decoys, a flannel on.
You had the whole 9 yards.
I had way too much crap. And I'm walking through this crap, and it's pretty tall. It's like giant ragweed, and it's a mix of, I don't know, willow and some other nasty stuff. You got to get through that before you hit the cattail marsh. And on the edge of the cattail marsh, it opens up to like a couple of ponds that lead through the cattails to hit the bigger water. Well, I'm going the way I think I'm supposed to go, and the moon's out. I have stars to work with, so okay, that's cool. And I'm going along, and I trip and I fall and get back up, and I hear the dog, and he keeps wandering to my left, which happens to be west. That's the direction we wanted to go, was west and slightly north, mostly west.
I think they call that northwest.
Exactly. So I end up falling down, tripping on something, get up, look around. The moonlight had gone away already.
I thought you were going to say the moon moved because it does that.
It does that.
Okay.
It
Damn
does
thing.
do that.
Fell down the moon.
So yeah, it did move. It was gone.
Moon's moving, Earth's moving.
Yeah,
All sorts of shit
everything's
out of
moving.
luck.
Yep, shit's happening here. Look out. But looking around, where the hell am I? No, it's got to be this way. So I call the dog. The dog kind of comes back, and you can tell he's kind of wondering where the hell I'm going. He just looks at me and goes, "No, it's this way." No, get over here. You're the dog. I'm the human. You listen. All right. So he follows and he gets on a deer trail and it's heading west. So I call him back, keep going, heading north. And he veers to the west again. Get over here. Why do you keep going over there? Heel, stay. This is the way we want to go. And he kind of looks at me and he looks over to the west. I don't know about you, but I'm going this way. And he gets up and he walks away from me. I'm like, you little shit. So I walk a little bit further and get in a clearing and I look.
Oh, there's not supposed to be a pond over there.
Well, there wasn't. All of a sudden I'm staring at an island of oak trees. And I'm like, that island of oak trees is supposed to be to the north. Shit. Turn around and look to the east, and there's a stand of pines way off in the distance. Oh, I know where I'm at. The dog knew exactly where we were going to head. And I should have just followed the dog. Just turn around, well, lead the way, and off he went, and I just followed him. And we got right to the spot where he wanted to go.
Wow,
So
that's crazy.
yeah.
I couldn't follow my dog anywhere.
But he's a good dog. But he got to the area, and we were kicking ducks out in the dark. So it worked out pretty slick, and we ended up taking a limit that day.
Nice.
Yeah.
My buddy Mike, who you know, him and I usually go into, like, when we go gun hunting. Mike's a gun hunter. He's bow hunted a handful of times. Same for him. It's fine. We go into this. We've been hunting this property in Prairie du Chien now for like over 10 years.
Right.
And he like, both of us got lost inside of the first like 3 minutes into the tree line. You know, at 4 a.m.
I can attest to Mike getting lost.
What's going on here? How are
I
we
can.
lost? But I too was with him and also lost. And he's looking at me. I'm like, dude, I don't know what. Like, I know where we are. I'm not lost, scary lost. I'm just like directionally challenged to get to my spot. And I'm
Directionally
like,
challenged.
so then I see a light. I'm like, who's that jackass?
Same
then,
thing.
Because then you're seeing people that are traveling their normal corridors, and you're thinking it's some other idiot because you're facing the wrong direction. So you're
Look
like,
at
there
this
should be
idiot.
someone over there. I'm the idiot. My dad bumped into me like twice last season. And he's like, wow, how'd I get over here? I was like, I don't know, Dad. How did you get over here? This is not the right spot. And so, but it's
Get back in your quadrant.
it's happened to so many of us that you know the feeling.
Yeah.
You know, it's if it's happened to you, you understand that oh shit moment. And then also when you got to eat crow in your own mind, you're like, oh.
Well, when I went with you guys, we went out, scouted. I set a stand where I thought would be good. And same thing.
Was it good, by the way? Did you see anything? I thought.
Yeah,
maybe you'd
I
seen
saw one
deer.
buck. I saw one buck and
Okay.
2 hunters, and I'll give you a guess who those 2 hunters were.
Oh God, I don't remember who was it.
So-
Greg and Mike?
Well, I snuck up on Greg. He was sleeping. I think I gave
Greg
him a heart
enjoys you.
attack.
He still talks about you. Man,
Um,
that Greg, he really takes deer hunting seriously. He was trying to teach me stuff, and he's like, I just don't think I care about deer hunting. But bless his soul, he really cares about deer hunting. Greg, my buddy Greg,
Yeah,
is a different
whatever.
Greg, is a city slicker, and he's fine with that. He just likes to come up to gun
Yeah.
hunt to shoot the shit.
Play
And
some
Greg's
cards.
like, no, this is and he's just like, this guy's really trying to teach me some shit. And,
He's like, that's cool, bud.
and Greg's a former Marine, like he knows some stuff, but he's a
That's
car,
not why
he's a
he's
car
doing
guy.
it,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, that's his jam. Like he's got, whatever. So anyway, Greg was
So,
talking about you. the
but
other
getting
day.
back to
Yeah.
who's this jackass? I get up. I know my way to where I have to go. Crawl up my stand, and I get quiet for maybe 5 minutes, and all of a sudden I hear heavy breathing and crunching, and a headlamp.
Was it my dad?
He was further away. I figured that out after it turned
Okay.
light. It was Kulas.
Mm.
Totally was. So, and I'm like watching, and the headlamp, and I hear, oh shit. I'm like, it sounds like Mike, but I don't know if it is Mike. So then he goes bumbling down the ridge, goes further over, and crosses the creek, and sits down like, I don't know,
It gets
80.
confusing back there because there's a lot of converging points.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
topography change, and then
Yeah.
there's a couple of edges, and one is real thorny, and like he comes right through the thorns. He had to have, and you can hear him. And he's like, shit. I guess I'm sitting here, and he sits down like 70 yards away. I'm like, really? You're gonna sit right there? So I turn my light on. And I go, and he, like as soon as he did that, he turned around and looked the other direction. I'm like, yeah, well, whatever. I guess it's public. You can do whatever you want.
And I know this joker.
Yeah. Well, I realized who it was after it turned light. I'm like, that's freaking Kulas. I had binoculars on. I'm like, he must have got lost or he got turned around. And then he realized he got turned around, and then he got up and walked the other
Yeah,
direction.
wouldn't be the first time. The first time I brought him out there, you got turned around. I literally watched him. I said, "Go this way," and it was very straightforward. I said, "Just walk straight from here." Watch him walk down, hit a creek, turn 90 degrees, and go a different direction. And then they thought I was a different human. Later on in the day, they're like, "Who's this jackass wearing socks?" It was because I had these white Mickey Mouse boots or whatever they are, And they're like, "Oh, that's Eric." And then meanwhile, a deer runs right past him that my dad shot at and missed a bigger buck apparently. And then Mike was sleeping, so he didn't see the deer. So everything was just all kittywampus. So these are the stories that
So
we
you
don't
guys-
tell like successful stories. We tell like stories about how we all effed up.
It's the second week at
Yeah.
deer camp.
So it's the first week at deer camp.
Yeah.
So you come back from opening day and the stories that came from, man, I saw 5 guys today. Really, it was
You
the
wouldn't believe
same
it.
guy
And you should
walking.
have seen this asshole.
circles
It's
around
all he
each-
did was walk circles and cough and say, "Oh shit."
Just running into all of it ourselves.
Oh,
And then you listen to Mike. Yeah, there was some dickhead up in the tree over there. And he kept like clearing his throat at me.
I should have a cough drop, asshole.
That happened to me in the Nicolay when I was my first hunt ever. I could hear some guy. I was like, I never saw the guy, but I was like,
"Excuse me, sir. Do you need a throat lozenge?"
yeah. What the hell?
Ricola.
Right.
That really loud. Yeah.
Where I always get messed up.
Dude's out there with his horn.
Where I always get messed up is like coming through the edge of something thick, right? Like you got your destination in mind. You're going through and you got to go through like a patch of thick area.
There's always
In the
something.
morning, this is
Yeah.
always at night. And all of a sudden, like you start climbing over stuff and you're like,
You get
I turned
twisted.
a little. And then what I end up doing is I end up walking not through it, but like down
Skirting
it.
it?
And I'm
Okay.
like, wow, this is like, why is this thick patch so long? And I'm like walking
It's
through,
long and it's
the
easier than I
longest way.
remember it walking.
and eventually like I'll curve all the way around and like hit the mainland stuff that I'm like, whoa. And like instead of just saying like eating crow and being like, I messed up, I'm like, what is this? Like, there's like an island
a
here
whole
I
new
didn't even know
territory.
about.
Yeah.
But really it's like, God, you
It's
idiot.
not.
Like, you just curve.
You just
and then
curve.
eventually you're just like, oh, I have to walk this way. And then you take like 15 steps and you're like in the open stuff. You're through the thick
Yeah.
and you're like, wow, I just walked for 40 minutes through this thick shit
Dumbass.
for no
Dude,
reason.
my buddy Joel and I went through a tamarack swamp in the Conservancy property that you hunted with me when we did the overlooked area, you and I. But Joel and I hit this marsh,
That further back.
thick marsh, and we were trying to get to this island that I still have not been to actually, and we were like dead set on getting through it, and we're going, and it's like slow going. Every step is precarious and sketchy and not good and hard earned, and then eventually we pop out, and we were like, I'm not kidding, something like 100 yards off the main path we had gone in on. We just did a horseshoe right back out. And we're like, we thought we made it to the other side, and we didn't. It was so bad.
Just walk the path back.
We're like dead. We're like, oh, our wives need us to come home. We've spent too much time in the woods. Like, what do we even do? And we didn't even get to where we wanted to go. It was like, we're like, well, this was stupid. And that's happened to us like several times. We go on dumb adventures because we are idiots. And
I led you on 1 or 2 of those last year, so I feel you.
That worked out.
It
okay.
happens.
Hey, Oak Tree Dreams. Hello, Adam Kaufman. Hello, Derek DeBoer. How's everybody doing? Matt Strime. See you guys coming through in the comments. The phone lines are open. 262-757-4122 if you want to call in, share a story about how you got lost or turned around. Apparently, that's what we're talking about today. We finally found our topic. We're lost.
Trying to find the
Lost.
trees through the woods.
Have you ever seen Frozen 2? Anybody yet?
No.
Lost in the woods.
Oh yeah.
You know that song. You know what I'm talking
yes,
about. You got a
absolutely.
daughter and a
The
wife.
Olaf song.
No, it's the Chris.
Oh, Christoph.
Yeah. Christoph.
Sorry. The Olaf part that my kids constantly, they don't want to watch the whole movie. They just want to watch the part
With
where he
Olaf.
does Samantha.
Oh,
Sven?
Samantha.
Oh, where he
Who's
goes,
Samantha?
Sven? Yeah. Samantha? I don't even know anyone named Samantha. They just think that part's funny. And they're like,
Yeah.
all right, turn it off.
Yeah, my kids will rewind movies to like to do the same
Parts,
thing. Yeah.
Remember when we watched VHS? You weren't rewinding the movie.
Uh-huh.
You didn't watch
No,
a specific part.
If you were gonna rewind it, you better like have it close.
But the fancy VCRs had like the multiple rewind.
Oh, yeah.
Where you could do
Four
like 1x,
time.
2x, 4x. And you know that tape was just burning.
Burning.
You could
You were
just
Yeah,
taking
yeah,
life
it
off
was-
of that bad boy.
That thing sounded like a Chevelle. Just
Be kind and rewind.
It was a funny movie. You ever see that movie?
Yeah.
Most
yeah.
Deaf?
Good old Blockbuster. Is there like a single Blockbuster somewhere in this country just for like
I don't for
just for,
nostalgia
like- yeah,
purposes. I don't think
right?
so.
I
Like-
watched what's that Marvel movie, Captain Marvel, when that came out. She was in a Blockbuster, and I was like, holy shit, they did a good job of recreating that.
Yeah.
They used to be an event over the weekend. It'd be like, let's
Going to
go to Blockbuster.
Oh yeah,
Half of the fun was just walking around looking for the damn movie.
Blockbuster and Family Video.
Family
And now it's same thing. Netflix, you just half of it's looking to figure out what the hell you're going to watch. 90% of your time is figuring it out.
Mm-hmm.
and then you usually
Sounds
just
like
don't
hunting.
even come to something.
It sounds like scouting.
And now we
You're just
we
trying
have
to figure
officially
out-
dated ourselves.
Yeah, well, that's not too hard to do.
No.
It's the
Grew up in the 80s and 90s.
I'm gonna do a cheers here just for the effect. Look at this. You want to pour up some more water?
You want some more brown water in your
This is number
glass?
two.
Should we
This is
mix it
number
with
two.
some of that Red Bull for you?
I've just been going back and forth.
No,
between
you don't
the
want
two.
you want to get creative with that cocktail?
I should finish this and have a little brown water. Maybe it'll kick this bug out.
It might.
Yeah, why don't you pour some brown water in the water?
Here you go.
Water it dilutes a little bit.
No,
Tastes
no,
nice.
no, no.
There's some
Nice.
Duke right there. The Duke. Who's that? Who's the Duke? Was that Clint Eastwood? No. What's that?
Oh,
I
really?
I crossed the wrong
it's
water.
John Wayne, man.
John Wayne. Yeah, my bad. There we
Jeez.
go.
It's almost like I knew right where to put this glass.
Yep. Okay. Here we go. 2 fingers, 1 finger, a finger and a half. How about 3?
Yay. that's
Here,
good.
Okay.
All right. That's how you beat the sinus cold right there.
Yeah.
You can't have a beer when you got a sinus cold. It just
No, it
stuffs
tastes
you
like
up.
crap.
And
Yeah.
it just stuffs you up.
This will like kind of
It'll do something.
yeah. It's probably not good, but
We'll
it's
put a little
something.
lead in your pencil.
Put a little lead in your pencil. What's one thing you look for when scouting for gobblers? I'm not going to answer that because I don't have
I look for
anything to look
gobblers.
Yeah, look for gobblers. Well, I mean,
right now.
yeah.
Not to be a smart ass. But
Honestly, look for hens. Look for bird sign in general. You look for. I mean, if
Scratching?
you're looking for, depends on what do you have to hunt. If you have nothing but open fields, look for the corners of the fields where around here, right? It's all relative to the ground you hunt. But if you're in ag country, and you have nothing but open fields, corners are always the best for dust bathing areas.
we witnessed that.
Yeah,
that
I
hen
mean, she
last
came to
year.
right to that corner of that field,
Yep.
and then all the other fields that I've been out and hunting in or scouting around, there's little dust bowls. I mean, they look like a pothole, and all the fine soils are right there. Those birds, those hens like
What do
to
you
go in
mean
dust.
fine? What do you mean fine soils?
They
Oh,
powder
it's
it.
like it's
It's
oh,
powdered.
not mud, but
It's
it's got
it's
got to be that
pulverized
real fine
soil.
for them to be.
Yep,
I
for
think
them to
saying-
bathe in.
it's the fine soil.
Only the finest soils.
Only the finest of
These
fine
high class
soils.
Yeah.
hens. They
Yeah,
want the
yeah.
finest.
As a kid, you'd get like
soils.
the kitchen strainer on the sandbox.
Oh yeah.
You get a little pebbles on that. That
That's
always
what we're
felt so
talking about.
soft. Yeah,
That's
right. Okay.
So they like to dust
The good
bathe.
sand. Yeah.
So I mean, that'll be if you hit a corner of a field and you're not seeing anything. You're walking field edges and you hit a corner and you don't see anything. You don't even see tracks. It's time to move on. It's not a good spot.
Depending on the size of the field, there's a couple public spots that have fields on it by me. And what I've always noticed, corners definitely a good spot to check. But any kind of topography that runs across the field,
Yep.
any kind of hill they can get
Ridge.
behind, if
Yep.
those turkeys, the toms especially, are going from one side to the other, they'll want to be near that little hill that runs through the field so they can either be hidden by it or peeking up over it. Sorry, to see what's on the other side of it.
Right.
Rather than just cross. I mean, sometimes they cross
Yeah.
just wide open stuff, but the field in particular, I'm thinking of every time I see turkeys crossing, they're right on the back side. Of
And
this
if you study that a little
ridge.
closer, you might see maybe there was an old fence line that was cut off. And, so there's like a point of timber coming into that field. Maybe could
be.
be. They love fence
But
lines. They'll-
different. So Drew with Oak Tree Dreams brought up a good point about the seasons or the periods. Like different periods are gonna yield different results. Like I see
Always.
a lot of guys just driving for turkeys.
Yeah.
Trying to spot birds,
Oh yeah,
and then you kind of make your move from there. It seems like these things aren't as smart as deer.
I like first season when I got my tag this year. I'm literally going to drive home every single night past my public spots when I leave, and I'm going to pattern them like people would talk about patterning a deer
Mhm.
because they're going to be grouped up. If the weather is somewhat cold, they're going to group and they're going to do pretty much similar pattern almost every day from what I've noticed early season. So I'm just going to post up where they're going to come down in the morning or
Yep.
where they're going to go back up in the evening. And I'm just going to kind of wait them out and just throw a couple really, really light calls. But anytime I've ever done any kind of heavy calling, like trying to call them in, the hens just pull the toms away.
Yep.
Never has worked for me.
So getting back to trying to find
Yeah, sorry.
turkeys in general, finding roost trees are probably the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And maybe like if you're gridlocked on a piece of property where you can't get to where they roost, you're gonna have to do your best and try to pull one over. and that's most of the properties I have
What do you mean pulling over?
with a call,
Oh
good
yeah,
decoying.
okay. I was thinking like pulling over the wool or something. I was like, what are you
No,
talking about?
like the
What kind
area
of
I have to
tactic is
hunt.
that? Okay.
The area I have to hunt, I have some public, I have a piece of private, and then the next piece of private over is where a lot of these turkeys
That
roost.
one turkey we saw, she flew down from like the heavens above.
Yeah, she flew down from
Holy
a
crap.
property away.
That was nuts. She was coming in
Right.
like sky high.
But finding a roost,
what are you looking for in a roostery? Like, how do you?
I've
seen turkeys in roosts. I just don't know. Like,
so I find them in pines. I find them in oaks.
Okay.
Oaks are most common around here. But if you got a stand of nice yellow pines or white pines, something where they can get up in the branches and actually roost.
They're big. Yeah.
Yeah, and
They're
perch in
clunky.
there.
Yeah.
Then
Usually,
you're golden. But go around here, it's oak trees. Oak trees are probably one of the best. Oaks and pines.
hills. Look for ridges or hills because they'll like to come up to the top of the hill right
And
before
then
dark,
go, yeah.
and then they don't want to climb 60 feet vertical.
They don't.
Who would want to?
They're not good at it.
20 pounds, so they want to get something they can run off at the top of the ridge.
Yep.
They'll roost on the side hill. In the morning, they'll usually fly down
The hill.
to the side hill, or
But
wherever.
if when you're out
work their
walking
way up.
around looking for sign, I mean, typically it's going to be during the daylight when the birds are not roosted. So you're going to look for turkey scat, and you're going to look for feathers. You start finding wing feathers, bird feathers around.
They're in
Find
the
some
area.
scat. They're around somewhere. They're roosting close. Pretty good chance.
Mhm.
Or they're going in there and they're dust bathing and leaving a lot of sign. Which again, you'll find those little bowls with real fine dusty soil.
Now, are you doing? Sorry, real quick. Eric Jacob in the comments said, "Keep up the scouting videos." So great work there. Are you doing decoys, Greg?
Absolutely.
Did you
I
guys-
always do.
Did you guys see the videos I sent this morning? Did you watch any of them?
No, I didn't
the
have a
one,
chance.
the memes you made, or I saw the first one, didn't see any of the other ones.
Okay, I'll show you one of them.
All right.
Okay, it's about this topic, like about decoys. It's very inappropriate.
I'm sure
Excellent.
it is.
Excellent.
I'm not going to say it now, but I'll show you after the fact.
What is your go-to decoy setup? What's your? Are you like depending on the season you change it up, or what?
I do.
What do you do?
Earlier in the season, like right off the bat, it seems like a lot of those birds, like I've drawn period A, and they're so grouped up, like they're grouped up doing their thing. And I think if you can get the hens to come over and check it out, then it's worth doing. I haven't had a lot of luck with the strutter decoy early on. A couple of hens, one feeder, one kind of upright looking type hen. I can usually get a couple hens to come over, and then they'll drag their boyfriend over, and then they have no more boyfriend, or they have a boyfriend maybe missing a few feathers, and he runs the other direction.
That happens. That
That
happens. I've been there.
My best luck with a strutter decoy was like right around CD period, like the middle of the season, where now the big toms have kind of established their dominance and scared the not so dominant toms off. They're not jakes, but they're not as big a toms.
Subordinate birds.
Subordinate male birds. And the last time I had used the strutter decoy, I had a pair of them come out of nowhere. Like I walked away from the set to go check something because I kept hearing birds thundering off behind me, and I had to go see what the deal was, what was the hang up, why they weren't coming over. And I ended up scaring two hens, found a shed, turned around and came back. And I'm not positive what direction those birds came from, if they came out of the swamp or if they came from the north or where they came from. All of a sudden I see a dust cloud and my decoy spinning around and feathers flying everywhere. They were taking their turns kicking its ass.
Really?
They were jumping on it, spurring it, hitting it with their wings. It would spin around on the stake. Another one would take a swipe at it. That one like took a tumble over the top of the decoy. The other one again with his spurs, and it just kept flopping around. And I'm like, oh, crap! I should have been here. And my camera's sitting there. I could have got that all on film, but snuck into the fence line, lined up on them, and well, they're both the same size. They both got, I don't know, an 8-inch beard or whatever it was. And I'm going to take the one right in front of me and squeezed off a shot and rolled it. And the other one just kind of ducked his head and looked around, looked at the decoy and looked at his buddy and started stomping the crap out of his buddy. And then I ran in there. I'm like, no, you're done. And he looked
What's
at the
the-
decoy, and I'm like, no, you're done. Get out of here.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
That's
It's like
ex-
when I want to play that song over a bunch of turkeys just stomping away.
Yeah.
They're aggressive little bastards.
Oh, it's
They can be,
crazy.
but like all the birds were behind me and off on the other property and doing their thing. And clearly the dominant toms had the group of hens, because the morning before I had nothing but hens come through, 1-2 at a crack. And then the toms stayed, hung up on the other side of the fence line, couldn't get them to cross where I could shoot them. So this guy, he came right in, or these two were right in there, right in the decoy's business. And I wasn't there for it until I snuck up on it and saw the commotion happening.
Still got her done.
It still got it done, but it would have been better
What
to
are
be
you
there.
doing for? I think you wrote an article about this. It's probably on our blog somewhere about like
Maybe.
the choke on your shotgun.
Yeah,
This kind of stuff. Is there like do's or don'ts that I don't? It seems to be a topic
One-
that people dive into. But
there's all sorts of do's and don'ts, and there's probably only a few. There might not be that many. It's pretty simple. You find a gun you're comfortable shooting. You pick an ammunition that shoots well. You pick a choke tube that works good with the ammunition. It is a little trial and error, and I did. I've got a couple of different chokes that I've tried over the years, and I'm still sitting on them because
how knowledgeable do you need to be to mess around with that stuff?
you don't. You need cardboard, and you need a range. My range is 40 yards,
And
and
the
you
chokes,
shoot.
the chokes are like a little bit of a double-edged sword,
Right.
because depending on what you hunt, like if you hunt field edges and it's early season and they're going to hold up at 50 yards, you probably want a real nice tight choke so you can reach out there and touch them when they
Yep.
hold up.
Yeah,
But if you're hunting later seasons and it's greened up and thick and those turkeys are going to come in investigating, having a really tight pattern choke at 20 yards means you
You're
got
gonna
to be
take their-
freaking right
you gotta
on.
be right on.
I mean, you miss an inch
Yep.
is an inch with a super tight choke. And I've
Yeah.
had that happen before where I've missed them super close because of like heat of the moment, boom, and I missed because I've had that
The-
pattern so tight.
There's a couple. Pattern Master makes one. Indian Creek makes
I
those
got the
two.
Indian Creek.
Those are really awesome chokes. They are super tight, and you can order variations of within a thousandth.
Really?
Yeah, like a 0.533 or a 0.538. I mean, they're real tight. They're, again, it's trying to pick your shot distance. Like if you're going to have an open field where they might hang up, if it's windy, like take for instance, first time I hunted with a gobbler decoy, put it out there. I put it at 30 yards. Had a gobbler come walking in at noon. Had my 2 hen decoys, and it was windier than hell. The wind kept hitting that decoy, and that thing was spinning around real erratic. And that bird didn't like it, and he hung up at 60. I'm like, I didn't have a rangefinder. I kind of paced it off. I think that's the row of corn, this corn stubble that's standing. I think that's the one I paced off at 50. I squeezed off, and I ended up tickling his toenails. I saw the dirt kick up
What
around
did
him,
just say? Tickled
he-
his
and he
toe.
jumped
Toenail
up.
tickler.
Yeah, a little toenail
A little
tickle. It's
tickle
fine.
foot. We ever watch New Girl with Winston playing the terrible pranks? Good old tickle foot.
No,
Someone knows.
can't say as I have.
You're missing out. I'll tell you that right now. It's like a modern day Friends.
But that bird turned around and ran for the next county. If I would have had a tighter choke, it might have helped, or just taken a little more practice at further range.
Mhm.
But it's one of those things where you pick a range to be effective at, and you stick to it. If you're smart and use your technology like rangefinder,
Did you see me ranging for an hour on the last video? So something like that, right?
Yeah.
Tick tick. Really impressed
It
with the ability
helps.
for that to pick up the audio on that.
but too,
Yeah,
like
it was. Well, yeah. Did you have the mic on?
what I'll do is I'll set my decoys at ranges also. Like I'll put a hen, maybe I'll put the laying hen down at 20 yards. I mean, I know 20 yards pretty good, but once it gets past 30, 40, then it's kind of nice to use those decoys almost as ranges.
I was gonna say you could set them at certain ranges, then you kind of you have like
You kind of know,
markers. Yeah.
well, if that far decoy is at 35, the bird comes to that row or that chunk of grass right there. I know he's at 40. I'm good to go.
Have you ever hunted a turkey with a bow? Any of you guys?
I
I've-
tried.
I've killed one with a bow.
I've not
Did
killed
you do
one.
the whole decapitation thing, or do you just do a regular old shot?
You shoot for the bigger target on those.
But what's with the people that are just lopping heads off those things with those huge
Yeah, it's a-
broadheads?
You gotta see
that's
how-
a thing, right?
Well, yeah, it is.
The gobbler guillotine.
Yeah.
Big old broadhead.
Big old broadhead. They got to be close enough.
Big old broadhead. Is that the brand? It's like that company, Big Ass Fans.
Yeah,
It's
and
a
they
real
did,
company.
They did a
It
good
is.
job of marketing that. But no, I believe there's 2 companies making something similar. But I'm trying to remember
That's
the
a
name of
small
the company.
target though.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're a lot of those
And-
guys are shooting out of blinds, right?
Yeah.
Shooting out of a blind.
Well, Greg's proven that shooting out of a blind is not that easy.
Yeah, but I mean, you can put it.
Not with a bow.
If you're sitting there with a bow, put your decoys 10.
Sure.
You know,
The
and then
turkeys
just
are
be
that dumb,
patient.
They don't know. Wow.
Yeah, just be patient. Then you got your turkey head, and then you got your turkey body.
That's crazy. So what's the purpose of doing that? Just it's a clean kill.
Well,
or
I
you
mean,
can
they don't
just
go far.
Bow shooting turkeys is like, I mean, there's going to be guys who say it's like an exact science, but man, a lot of people
Well,
I
it's a
know who
small
have done
organ.
it have not like hit them and they just never found them. More so than deer, right?
So like just bringing a shotgun, not a surefire way, but you're probably going to drop that bird.
I thought about bringing my bow for this year, but I do that every year, and I just end up bringing my shotgun.
Magnus is who makes it.
Hmm.
I thought so. Magnus makes a good head. Very, very budget friendly head.
The only one I shot at 38 yards. He took like 3 steps. I was lucky, just took 3 steps and died. And then his 2 buddies that were with him just pounded him,
on
right?
him.
Like
Yeah.
just were on him
That's
like
the thing. Like,
flies on shit and just
Yeah.
pounded him.
ah,
We were just following you so diligently.
yeah.
And now we're stomping your ass.
yeah, now we're kicking your ass.
Yeah, I think that's the type of videos I've seen where the turkeys go in on the one that just died and they started like gangster stomping it.
It's just a
It's like,
survival of the fittest instinct thing.
oh, you're dead now. I'm gonna get you, son of a bitch. It's like that buck that took the other buck's bed.
Yeah.
On your hunt with Bo.
It was super interesting exactly how he literally went up, gored that buck a little bit with his horns, smelled all around him, made a scrape 10 yards away, right? Showing new dominance. Like, hey, is he going to get up and get me? Nope.
Yeah.
Let me rip it up. He made like 4 rubs, followed that deer's blood trail right back to the bed, sniffed around, and frickin' laid there like, I'm the king of the mountain now,
Mhm.
sucker.
Yeah, the animal kingdom is a cruel, like,
It was so cool
no
to
F
watch.
given world. Like these deer, like, oh, it's so sad. Sometimes,
Yeah, but if you
sometimes these animals are
don't-
crueler than we are.
What-
you don't have to look very hard at it, though.
Pretty
I mean, it is a meaning. One of the meanings of life is you are
Part of it.
replaceable.
Oh, we do have callers. I didn't. I was watching the whole time. There's nothing. Now we got 2. So, turkey stuff. Who do we got? Who is this?
Yes, I was calling about your ad in the newspaper.
Yeah, you got our car for sale on Craigslist. The caller name is unknown.
It's a weird name.
Hello, unknown.
You are live on the OK Sutter podcast. Who do we got?
This is Joel. How you doing, Eric?
Oh, hey, Joel, you son of a bitch. It says unknown. What the hell is that?
He star 60, whatever you.
Star
I don't
69
have to
your
put my
ass.
name in there.
Yeah, you're like using the UFOs to your advantage or something.
It's all that tin hats he's wearing.
I don't know how to do that. I am wearing my aluminum foil hat. So.
I know
We
you,
would expect nothing
you are
less.
always wearing that. I mean, that just goes under your regular hat. It's no big deal. We don't even know it's there.
Yeah, I think it's called the steel plate. Got caught chasing too many parked cars as a kid.
There's some flavor to the show. I was just talking about
Yeah,
you, Joel.
yeah,
Were your ears ringing, or did you hear us, or what's going on?
No, actually, I just picked up and I realized, hey, I got a little bit of driving time. I got a chance to actually listen to the show for once.
That's nice.
So I was out picking up some meat. We ordered a cow, so I'm going out picking up meat and driving back. So
Well, nice.
Is that a
because I
way
didn't
of
get any
saying?
deer, so I need some meat.
Is
so-
that a way of saying you're just an okay deer hunter?
Yeah. I'm such an okay as deer hunter. I got to buy my meat.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah,
my
but a lot of
friend.
our wives, we got cow too from a local farm around here, and my wife is like, "Can you go to the freezer, get me meat?" So every now and again, I just sneak some venison and put it in there. She's like, "Why'd you bring this?" I'm like,
There
"Why
you
do you
go.
think I brought it up?"
You
So
said
you
bring
can-
meat.
so
You weren't
can cook
specific.
it. That's why.
Yeah, come on, honey, try some of my meat.
Oh boy.
So what's going on in the turkey woods for you?
I'll
Are
try
you
to keep it clean.
what period and,
Well,
and
I
zone
got
do you
two
got, Joel?
things. One, I got 2 things. One, I got an okayest moment for turkey hunting,
Yes.
and the other one was calling turkeys. I've heard so many different myths about calling in turkeys. Some people say use a barn owl call. I actually have a peacock call for
Peacock.
locating turkeys early in the morning. So I've heard all different people say different things, like try doing turkey call early in the morning, and they'll find in their roost. I've heard the peacock call. I've heard use a barn owl sound, and then they'll respond so you can find them in the dark thing. I don't know what you guys' takes on that. Like, I had a peacock call for some reason, and I used it, but I've heard it work.
Barred owl everybody uses, and it does work. And I've heard barred owls tee off in the woods or on the marsh where I hunt and never hear a bird gobble at all, probably because they've heard it. But a peacock, that's interesting because there's so many farms around that have them as pets, and they're loud. But I've heard coyotes gobble at a coyote howl.
Hold on. What did you just say? You've heard coyotes gobble?
You know.
That was a really weird scene.
That was good.
They're learning how to call them in, those sons of bitches.
Yeah, that's right.
That is a stealthy
They've taken
coyote.
their hunting to the next level.
They haven't been listening to this show.
No, well, they have now. I mean,
Wile E. Coyote
geez.
has stepped up his game after trying to kill Bugs Bunny for a little bit.
You do a coyote howl and a gobbler will tee off.
I got. You know,
Dyslexia is
you ever see
kicking
those
in.
videos on social where it's like a mouth is over an animal, like a human mouth is over an animal mouth, and it's like it's talking? I'm gonna do a coyote mouth. And go, all right, sorry, Ariel.
I sound okay.
All right, so yeah. What else you got, Joel? You had another thing, a number 2, but hopefully not a poop.
I had I got an okayest moment when it comes to turkey hunting. My first turkey hunt I did with a bow. So first time I went out turkey hunting with a bow, I ended up gut shotting a turkey. And if you ever want to learn how to get really good at tracking, gut shot a turkey, because you only find like one piece of kernel of corn every 10, 15 feet. So I shot this
and
turkey,
you found it in a cornfield, which made it really confusing.
No, he actually ran up into a tree farm, like a pine tree farm. And I tracked him up into there, and I saw him roosted down underneath a bunch of pine needles and stuff. So me being the smart guy, I just reached under there and grabbed him by his tail feathers. Well, when you grab a turkey by his tail feathers, their first reaction is to jump up, spur, and flap their wings, which will literally scare the bejesus out of you. So usually you let go and you fall back. So another note to put on here is I was wearing cut-off jean shorts. I was working on the farm.
Of course you were.
Farmer Joel.
They're not Daisy Dukes, okay?
Yeah, they were.
Well,
Pockets were hanging out.
It's okay if they were.
It's fine. We won't judge.
Should we call you Joel Dirt from now on?
Yeah, Joe Dirty. So it scared me. I let go of the turkey and it runs off again. So I'm like, holy crap, that was really stupid. Why did I grab it by its head? Because I didn't bring my bow or my knife or anything. I just dropped everything and went searching for this turkey because I was, an okayest turkey hunter. And I end up coming up to it again, and then where I find it is on the other side of the pine tree farm, nestled under a bunch of pine needles. So what would you think would be the first reaction to do? I reached under and grabbed it by the tail feathers again. But this time I didn't let go. So he jumps up and he starts spurring and kicking at me, flapping its wings. So I reached with my other hand and I grabbed it by the neck and I tried to wring its neck. And it didn't work. I was wringing that thing. It was flopping all around, scratching the crap out of me and just beating the crap out of me. I'm getting my butt kicked by a turkey. So I grabbed the turkey and I throw it down on the ground and I try stomping on its head.
I thought you were telling me you started pile driving it.
I throw it on the ground and try stomping on its head. Well, I'm at a pine tree farm. So all the pine needles and soft ground, all I'm doing is putting a mold of its head into the ground and doing nothing.
It's like Play-Doh.
Stomping on it. The whole time I'm stomping on it, he's still spurring at me. He's still flapping his wings at me. Finally, I end up grabbing it and inverting his neck and then cranking on it. And I finally got him out of his, took him out,
I took him out.
So here I am walking back. I walked back to the farm and I didn't realize how much my adrenaline had been running, but I walked back and the farmer that I'm working with looks at me and says, "What happened to you?" And I look down and my pants look like they're tasseled. They are just completely shredded and my shins are just bleeding into my boots. Yeah. Well, my hunting pants were shredded. You could see my legs and you could just see all the blood trickling down into my legs, into my boots and everything.
And you just said this, sorry,
and
it
he
was my
looks at
first
me
time.
like, "What happened?" I'm like, "I got the turkey." And he looks at me and says, "No, it looks like the turkey got you." So that was the first and last time I ever bow hunted turkey. So
Holy
You got a good
shit.
reason for bringing the shotgun, Joel.
Mhm.
yeah, I thought I'd show because I'm like, man, I've been looking for a turkey, a turkey podcast to share that with.
This is the one. You found your home for it, man.
Bow
Jeez.
hunting them is cool and
Yeah,
all, but
yep.
I think
I
they're-
don't do a lot of turkey hunting anymore because I'm kind of afraid of them birds now.
Well, next time you got a story, just come on over and you can hang out with us and tell it here.
Yep, I'd like to do that.
please do.
Then
I
I
mean,
can get some, some booze in me too, and really liven up
That's how
that
the
story.
stories get real good.
There we go.
oh boy.
Well, cool, man. Thanks. We got one more caller behind us, so we're gonna move on and talk to looks like Christopher from Toma, which I think that might be Drew, is my guess.
Okay.
All right, Joel. Have a good night, buddy.
All right, you
See ya,
guys-
thanks for the
Real.
story.
Thanks.
All right, bye.
Oh.
All right, so I'm gonna play the music to just break up the. We're gonna go to our next caller on the OKS 100 podcast here.
You got one shot to top that story. Go.
Yeah, can you top
And
that
go.
story? Who do we got? Who do we got? You're live.
You got Drew.
Ah,
knew it.
Hey,
yeah,
Drew.
there he is.
Joel and Drew, back to
you
back
guys started
legends.
You guys started talking about turkey, so I figured to call instead of just keep writing little messages at the bottom there.
Yeah, that's the point. That's where we're like, we got a phone number, Let's go. Here we are.
I know. Well, see, normally I'm at work. I mean, I am right now, but it's snowing like.
Attaboy.
Normally at work.
Is
but
it
I'm not
snowing like a
working
banshee
this
up
time.
there?
But no, and so I guess I got an okay turkey story, but about the whole. Well, he's mentioned something about the peacock call. That does work. We use that more than.
Where do you
actually
get?
the
But
owl
let me
call
just ask,
because-
where do you get a peacock call?
I've
from?
never heard of this in my life.
Like, can I go to Amazon and order a peacock call, or do I got to go rob one from
What
the
does
zoo?
a
Yeah.
peacock sound like?
No, you can. It's we just have a Primos one. Primos makes them.
How does it sound? Can you
What
like?
doesn't Will Primos make?
Can you mimic a
What was that?
can you mimic a peacock call?
Not really. It's such a high pitched thing. I don't know. It's
Am I right when I do that?
kinda
Am I
like
right?
Pretty close.
Yeah,
You're
okay.
pretty
I'm
close.
Just thinking
But
of the zoo when I go with my
the
kids.
octave isn't.
Yeah,
you don't have the projection power of a peacock.
Work
got
on
those
your
little-
projection power.
You gotta
You gotta
stretch those little bird lips.
You gotta let
out
me fly, Captain. I'm a
If you,
peacock.
if you strut a little first, I think you could probably work it up.
and cup the balls a little.
Oh,
God.
ooh.
Look
Yeah,
at those
that's pretty
feathers.
close.
God, that thing's beautiful.
Anyway, Drew.
Good lord. Anyway, sorry I derailed that.
but you guys are talking about like turkeys kicking the crap out of each other like gangster style type thing. There was a hunt one year. Me and my brother were on. I called in a gobbler for him. Actually, I called in the hen. The gobbler wouldn't gobble at all. Like not a peep out of him. The hen was all pissed off. She came in. Well, he shot our at like 30 yards. Well, after the shot, a couple more gobblers down the ridge gobbled to his shots. We're like, hey, whatever, they gobbled to it. Let's go try for them. Well, they wouldn't gobble again. Like we walked probably like, I don't know, half mile to where we thought we would be close enough to them. And, we started calling, nothing. Sure as shit, we were like, all right, whatever. We're just going to go home. We'll come back tomorrow. We know about where they're at. Well, right when we turned around to start walking, they gobbled again. And we're like, holy shit, like they're at like, I don't know, under 100 at that point. And here we are in the middle of a damn cornfield. He's holding his turkey. I have like, I don't know if you guys know what the funky chicken is, but it's like
Oh,
a bowling
that's
ball
my-
or a bowling pin looking decoy.
Yep.
The funky chicken?
The funky
And,
chicken.
I thought
Yeah.
Drew. I thought you were making that
Dude,
up.
it's the
so.
dumbest looking decoy.
I was
it's
going
the
to talk
dumbest
about the
looking
funky
decoy you'll see,
chicken
but it
later because
works.
I
The
use the
funky
funky
chicken? Because
The funky
your
chicken.
nasal congestion is
It's the funky
caused-
chicken.
Sorry, Drew. All right.
And so, no, you're good. And so, we set up the funky chicken. We put a hen, one of our lay down hens right next to him because it's worked in the past. And my brother's freaking out with the damn turkey, the gobbler he shot. I was like, just lay it down by the decoy, screw it. What's the worst that could happen, because they normally, for some reason, when they see a turkey down, they'll run and, beat the crap out for some reason. Well, we put it down, gobbler pops out, he sees it, he turns around and leaves. Well, we hear more gobbles right kind of to his left, And a whole group of 10 jakes came running right in, started beating the crap out of him. I'm like, all right, we're going to end this. He's like, you don't want to shoot one? I'm like, dude, you got a gobbler. I'm not going to shoot a jake now. Like, come on. And so, your guys' theory with the whole, beating up dead birds and all that. I mean, I've had plenty of experiences with that, and it's just a weird thing that they do. I don't know. It's something triggers them about it.
It's that pecking order.
It's a pecking order.
Literal pecking order.
Yeah, it is. Man, they'll peck that
It's
head,
literally-
and they'll pick up their head, and that head will be stuck on their beak. It's disgusting.
Man, Bobby's been a dick my whole life. I'm gonna get him
Last time I followed you.
now. Vicious. They're like raptors.
Yeah, no, and dude, they are though, and they're little mean bastards. I hate them. I love hunting them, but I just hate them because they're just kind of dickheads, honestly.
You're funky chicken though. I tell you what, I've got one of those funky chicken. It's like this really deformed, puny looking. It's like a gobbler head with like a weird little. I don't even know if it's bowling ball size, like Drew said.
It's like a bowling pin. It looks weird. It's
looks
odd shaped.
really weird. And then I screwed a real fan on it, but I like put 2 fans on it in case I ever want to reap with it. So I have like a taller one in the middle, so it looks like a Jake fan, and I like put it out halfway, so I've got like a wing nut on it screwed in, so I can adjust it however I want. But you put that thing, especially later in the season, like you were talking about, once the pecking order's been established and that dominant bird has kind of made his rounds already. If you're after like 3rd season or later, and you put that funky chicken out with my real fan on it over a hen that's on the ground, I don't even have like a.
You don't need one.
What do they call it?
You don't need your hen.
I've got a feeding hen, and I just lay it on the ground.
Just put it on the ground. You dig out a little dirt, and you put it on the ground, and it works.
It's like a $12 plastic decoy,
Yeah.
but you put that funky chicken over it, man, and every gobbler, almost every gobbler that's ever seen it, comes running right over. They're like, what is this idiot doing with that hen?
Yeah. What are you doing, bowling pin?
Yeah. For real, it works, though. It
About
works.
to jack you up.
Drew, have you seen the same thing?
Yeah, honestly, we kind of let him retire because I kind of threw him down a bluff and then we lost him. That was.
I think he probably
the
looks
turkeys
better
won
now.
that day.
I'm sure-
Yeah.
And he's gonna do. Some turkey went and found that thing at the bottom of the bluff.
They're
and
still
started-
beating the shit out of it.
Fuck you, Jerry.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's probably what happened too. But no, we used that for I don't know, 6-7 years, and literally, like you said, almost every single gobbler that's seen it came in and just wanted to beat the piss out of it for, just because it looks dumb and it's puny. But when you have a shotgun backing up that puny looking thing, I mean, I don't think they really want to mess with it. So.
It goes back to the whole gangsta thing. It's all about your crew.
That's right.
Who you rolling with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rolling with Mr. 12 Gauge, me and Funky Chicken.
What the hell's going on with my camera here? Oh gosh. Well, I think I found a new limit to our new stuff. Yeah, I did. Sorry, Drew. I'm dealing with a technical problem all of a sudden.
It's fine. You can keep talking.
Is that like
No,
1
you're
hour?
Because this is a podcast. It doesn't have to be visual.
Was that like 1 hour of recording and then it
I
stopped?
wonder if that's what it was.
Yeah, we are living
it's
up to our
turkey
name.
hunt or whatever, but
Yeah.
you take care of your camera thing. Trust me.
Yeah. No, I don't know what's going
Or not.
on.
Important.
Everyone's just seeing my face stare at the screen now. Apparently, this is awkward. Here we are.
So you guys, are you making some new mouth calls for this season?
Yeah, we I actually made a brand new one, actually called the Hoedown, because the calls are called Dirty Hen, so we try and keep it along the lines of as bad as it sounds, like kind of like a slutty hen, I guess. But yeah, we made that one. We got a few of our originals, and it's I like the way the calls sound, and I just think it's cool as shit that I made a call and can kill turkeys with it. Honestly, I always kind of wanted to do it, and I didn't realize it was, I guess, quote unquote, easier than it looked.
Yeah.
Cool.
Might have to put in an order this year to get a couple.
Yeah, I might be bringing you guys some at the trade show, so you don't really have to put in an order, I don't think.
Wow.
Well, there you go.
We'll talk about that.
We can sort out something there, but
Yeah.
I'd definitely be interested in trying out a few diaphragm.
Yeah,
calls.
between Matt's Weathered Oaks slate calls that he does a phenomenal job
Dude,
of
his
making.
late calls are the shit.
Yep. but I can't go out in the field without at least a slate call and a mouth call. That's how I roll.
Usually I'm a slate guy.
Yeah. Well, and it's like if you don't want to stick that thing in your mouth, you don't want to stick that thing in your mouth.
Do all like Eric said, he
You're
does a
gagging
lot
on
of weird
latex,
mouth
aren't you?
stuff in the
Yeah,
woods. He's doing
yeah.
all kinds of weird mouth things. So you
Well,
got to watch out.
Don't pay attention to what he does.
No, if I put one
You
in
do
my
you.
mouth, I'm gagging. It's not good.
That was funny. Hey, should I call? No. Are you sure? Well, go ahead and try.
That's how you get the big ones in.
Look, there's breakfast in the brush.
Carly ate some bad berries again over here on
Apparently.
the Oak Ridge.
Yeah, he did. He's gagging on it.
Oh, goodness.
Well, thanks for the call, Drew. Sorry the video broke up there. Technical
No, you're good,
problems.
man.
It's a sigh of annoyance right there.
Yeah, it is a sigh of annoyance.
You were on cloud 9. Now
What
you're only
season
on
did you
cloud
get?
3.
There, Drew.
I actually got second season again this year.
Okay.
Actually, no. This year I got second. Last year I forgot to put in my application, or actually it was still my shopping cart kind of deal, and just never paid for it. So, but yeah, I got second this year, so I'm pretty
Nice.
excited.
Cool.
Very nice.
I've probably had the most action, like seeing the most birds in second season.
Really,
Yeah, but it's
private
relative.
property is
Oh, go ahead.
our private property is really good for like first season for some reason, but like when we hunt the public land, it's usually better like the later seasons.
Yep.
I don't really know
Probably
the difference
because
in that, but
I think it.
maybe less pressure.
Well, I think it's by then all the guys on the private pieces around have taken their turn and either shot at birds, missed birds, got birds, or whatever. But they've done some sort of educating, and then those birds have migrated to the public, where people go, I'm not going to hunt turkeys on public, and they'll be there, or they're just moving around more and trying to find hens, and by then the hens are looking for some of the thicker stuff, and by me, like the thicker stuff is the public.
Grassland is where they want to nest, right?
Right. Yeah, grassland is definitely where they want to nest. Somewhere where they have a lot of cover. But then if they have raccoons, that's another topic altogether. But they get predated pretty easily.
Predated. I've heard of predation, but not predated.
Should we call it predated?
I don't call what you want. That was a strange term I've never heard before.
Well,
Predated.
I'm not a thesaurus, so kiss my ass,
Sounds like you're-
Webster.
He's getting impregnated. It sounded pretty similar.
Now you're going down a different path.
Well, it was Valentine's Day the other day. Careful, guys.
Yeah. By the way, are you having a fourth kid now?
No, there's nothing in the oven.
You sure about that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
You didn't get fixed yet, did you?
I heeded the warning.
If you didn't get fixed,
I saw the memes.
I saw
there's
the memes.
still a chance.
I will tell you what. And I have 3 birth control pills running
You
around.
fucked
here,
up
okay?
3 times already.
Yeah.
How dare you?
I know.
I just fucked
What an-
3 times.
what an-
Like-
Well, let's be honest. There's a little more practice that goes into
my
it
kids
than
are
that.
gonna listen to this someday and be like, "Geez, Dad."
It wasn't an immaculate conception, let me say.
I don't know. I don't recall the concept.
Why are you red?
Seemed pretty immaculate.
That's time.
What are you doing?
Lord have
Just
mercy.
Turkey.
I
Just
apologize
peacocking here doing a little shot gobbling. Chasing my hens.
for those who are listening. I
We're
apologize.
talking about turkey hunting. What are you talking about?
No, we're not.
Weird on me.
We're talking about you sowing your wild oats again.
What? Wild oats. That's pretty great.
This
They're
just
pretty
turned into
tame.
Maury
They're pretty
Povich.
tame.
You are the father.
Shit, this took a turn.
Yeah, Drew, you got
It
caught in
just
the
took a
crosshairs.
turn.
You got caught in the
And you
weirdness.
just
That is
happened
the
to be
OK
here.
Center
No, that's
podcast.
good. This is funny shit.
Drew, you just do what I'm doing. Just lay low and just look
Get a
down
knock-
at the
get-
ground.
get a nice-
Derek's going, yeah, man. I sat on my bag of frozen peas.
Get a nice
I'm
awkward
all
look
good.
going on. Have you
I
watched?
knew what needed to be done. Now I just get cats instead.
How's that working out, by the way?
It almost worked out good the other day because
Yeah?
Well,
two of the little girls that my wife watches on Tuesdays and Thursdays, their mom was like, "Hey, how much?" She was dropping her kids off the other day, and my wife was like, "Oh yeah, Hannah was asking about how much we feed our cats because she said their new cat's like really putting on some weight." So she was concerned with how much they're feeding it, and well, it turns out they found out like 3 days later she's pregnant.
No.
She just had babies today, so they have kittens.
Oh,
And
so
my
you're
wife's
getting 2
like
more, huh?
talking up all these kittens. I was like, "You can absolutely go get a kitten." She's like, Are you serious? I was like, yeah. You get rid of the two any two in our house, you bring home a new one. But you gotta get rid of two
It's
first.
a 2-for-1 deal.
So then the kids were like, "We're getting rid of Beanie and Stanley." Like they had them picked out, and I was like, "All right, She's like, "No, we can't." I was like, "Oh, no new cat."
No cat then.
Listen to Gus. You get rid of those two
Derek's got cats and kids.
cats and kids.
Yeah, I got a dog upstairs doing something stupid. I can probably hear it happening right now. Drew, thanks for the call, buddy. We'll see you at the trade show. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, sure thing, man. I'll definitely see you guys there.
Sweet.
You can
All
just
right.
you can just live at our booth. It's all good. You're one of us.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Have a good night, buddy.
Good
See you,
night.
bud.
Bye.
John Munt, how's it going? It's going good. And Tony Cordero. Drew's calls are
Tony.
great. So it's good stuff. Well, I don't know what happened to the camera situation. I really don't understand what happened because I was too into this to understand what the hell. It just stopped.
You were into something.
Like it shouldn't have a recording limit because it's meant to stream. That's its purpose.
That's what you think.
So I don't
You
really.
started talking about kids, and that's when things went all to hell.
I don't know. So I don't know if that happens again. I'm not sure what to do. I restarted the unit, and that resolved the issue.
It's a nice unit.
Yeah. Unit.
It's basically a computer, to be quite frank. This is like another computer sitting here. So the switchboard.
It's a little bit heavier than an iPad.
Yeah. Well, you got all these hard wires coming in. So cheers to our GoPro up top.
Hardwired and unit.
Sorry, I'm just dying.
You all right?
Yeah, that was like.
He was thinking about diaphragm calls.
Yeah, he was. Diaphragm. You pull the goalie?
Every time I put it in my mouth, I just, I don't
Jesus.
even know where my diaphragm calls are. They're somewhere. I was thinking about busting them up for this. I forgot. So we talked about getting lost in the woods.
Busting
We
out's
talked
better
about
than
turkey
busting in.
hunting.
Busting it.
Sorry.
Hey, thanks for tuning into the show tonight.
Busting.
On that note, we'll
Eric's just going to go
We'll
bust
stick
some
a fork in it.
diaphragms.
get the hell out of here.
Diaphragm
See you
buster.
guys.
Diaphragm buster.
That's the new turkey sticker.
Diaphragm buster.
Diaphragm buster.
What do you even do with that? What is a diaphragm buster? Are you saying diaphragm come a buster? Like you're a buster? Like
Let me
the
help you
Fast
with
and
this
Furious?
Pam here.
Two
Okay.
M's.
Two ends. Is there 2 ends or one? I don't
You're gonna need
understand.
2 diaphragms.
Are you saying Pamna?
What are you saying? Are you saying
Oh,
diaphragm
Panda.
buster or diaphragm buster? Do you understand how I'm saying that?
He's talking about a different diaphragm than the diaphragm that
Are
goes
you
diaphragm
in
saying
are you
Buster
talking about?
Hyman?
I'm talking about. My name's Mike Hunt. I'll see you guys later.